Hi, this is Jan Butler. I'm the Executive Director for Bowie Community Media Corporation, but today I'm here as the hostess for Bowie News and Views, so welcome. I also want to welcome our guest, who is Robert Mills, and he was the original manager of Hiltop Plaza Mall, so welcome.
Thank you. It's a good pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Well, of course, we invited you because they're doing the rededication of Hiltop Plaza Mall. But we want to talk a little bit about the history, because that's actually the hats that you wore, is construction as well as the original manager. And that's correct, right?
That's correct.
So everybody's going to see on camera the picture we have of the groundbreaking of the original Hiltop Plaza Mall. So we had already pointed out ahead of time Ed Conroy as part of the groundbreaking ceremony, and Leo Storch.
That's correct.
And then we have you identified here.
Right.
And I was asking earlier if you could identify any of the other people, because this is actually a picture that's been in our local paper, as well as they had it on the invitation for inviting the public to the celebration.
Yes.
So I'm sure everybody's been very curious about it, so we wanted to fill in as many people as we could. So can you help us out with that?
Yes. Well, standing right next to me is Bob Mattingly.
Okay.
He was the original owner of the first pizza store that went in.
Okay.
And then standing right next to him.
And we have that based on the sign as being Pizza Peak.
That's right.
Yes.
And then standing right next to him is Harry Carucas. He was the original owner of the old Bowie Inn that, of course, we had to demolish in order to build a new one. And I understand that he passed away just a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So he was with us for a long time.
Yes.
And the rest of them are representatives of the Grand Union and the Dart Drug, the original anchors to the shopping center.
Absolutely. And some of the other stores that are mentioned here are certainly Grand Union, Aristo Cleaners, Francine's, certainly Dart Drug is mentioned, this Pizza Peak, Daniel's Gift Shop, 7-Eleven Food Store, and of course the Bowie Inn. And really, 7-Eleven's the only store that's still there. I'm sure it's not under the same management because, of course, you know,
It's been 40 years.
7-Elevens have definitely changed, but that's the only structure that still remains from the beginning days.
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about the start of Hiltop Plaza. Now, the information I got was that the groundbreaking of Hiltop Plaza was in 1969.
That's correct.
Okay, and at that time, we had in Bowie, or there was in Bowie, through the original plan with Levitt, the marketplace.
Right.
So that was one of the older malls, and then Free State Mall was also one of the older malls, and then the small shopping center near on 197 near Whitehall and near the post office.
Correct.
Was in existence. So when this was started, the breaking for the Hiltop Plaza, you were wearing the hat of what?
The construction superintendent.
Okay. Okay. So any problems with the mall? Any terror stories or?
Well, I'd like to start out by saying that Mr. Leo Storch was a man of wisdom and foresight.
Okay.
And he could see the town of Bowie growing by leaps and bounds. Okay. And he could also see the need for more competition within especially the supermarkets, drugstores, and so forth.
Sure.
So he purchased the property known as 17 acres, which became Hiltop Plaza. And he had no problem getting the original tenants, because as soon as they learned there was another shopping center going in, they started signing up. And the center was completely leased out before the last store was finished.
Excellent. Okay.
And there are many success stories that go along with that. I must say, Hiltop Plaza, the ground was one big hole in the ground, you might say, because it followed the line of Racetrack Road, which of course goes downhill, and that's the way. And all of that had to be cut and filled to have the proper arrangement for the store buildings.
Okay.
And that became the biggest job to begin with. And then, of course, just putting in the foundations and getting started.
Yes.
And we had a lot of good help. We always had good subcontractors. We always had cooperation with the city of Bowie, which for sewer and water and all the other utilities that we needed. That part of it we were very pleased with, because those things can hold up a construction job.
Sure.
But they didn't let that happen.
Okay. Do you remember who the city manager was at that time?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. I just thought maybe you guys, would have worked with the city manager.
Yeah.
The current city manager's always been very helpful to development in the area. Yeah. That's David Deutsch.
Yeah. The old timers in Bowie will certainly remember the old Bowie Inn, which was right up on Route 450.
Absolutely.
And they will remember the little 8-room motel that was beside it. And Herr Karukas owned those at the time.
Okay.
And he was very eager to have the new Bowie Inn built just to his specifications and his location within the shopping center. And of course, we were happy to accommodate. And it had its grand opening right along with the 7-Eleven about the same time. They were the first ones that were open.
Okay.
And it was a success story from then on for Mr. Karukas.
Oh, that's great. Yes. So then, once it was built, then when did you sort of swap construction hats and put on the office man or the mall manage hat?
Okay. Well, it has to be noted first that I was an employee of Emilio Storch Developers.
Okay.
This was not the only construction we had going.
All right.
We had Collington Plaza. We had stores in Lanham being built. So I became the construction manager for all of his construction projects.
Wow.
We kept them all going at the same time.
Oh, my goodness.
And then in 1972, Mr. Leo Storch passed away. And at that time, the family that owned the Storch Company brought the construction to a finish. And that's when they appointed me as project manager for the shopping centers.
Okay.
And then I was with them for another about 17 years after that.
Okay. All right. So basically, then approximately when did you become manager with Hiltop specifically?
Well, I was actually manager of all of the centers, along with other employees that they had. In other words, it was more than a one-man job.
Okay,
and,
sure.
The leasing and management was distributed among other employees. Their main office was in Baltimore.
Okay.
So we kept a active office here in Seabrook.
Okay, so that was just a very big time for growth in Bowie and this area in general.
It was.
It was just not difficult compared to now to get businesses to come into the area.
That's correct. And as one can see with the new renovation where all the stores are leased out, and it's a beautiful job that has been done.
Yeah.
And it was quite something for me to come back after 40 years and not hardly see one piece of facade that I was responsible for, but it's all brand new, and it's a wonderful job.
Okay. So you have not been back in the area for a period of time?
I have not been back in the area for 7 years. We moved to Florida 7 years ago.
Okay. All right. So, but certainly you noticed growth before you left because you were in this area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So do you think that the Storch family sort of had the hot button in order to get development in here? Do you think that that was part of the skill and the talent that brought businesses in here, and we're sort of, you know, not utilizing maybe that?
Yes, I think that the reputation of the storage company as being landowners and landlords went a long way to help them to achieve everything they needed from the city of Bowie, and from other jurisdictions in Prince George County where they have shopping centers. I think that went a long way with them.
And currently, where else do they have shopping centers?
Well, the one in Lanham
Mm-hmm.
and Seabrook, and then they have other properties in Baltimore that I'm not familiar with.
Right. Okay. Okay. So when you went to the celebration, there was a celebration on Sunday, October the 23rd, and that was basically billed as Family Day, but it was definitely the rededication of the plaza.
That is correct.
And so my understanding is that you were invited by Frank Storch to come to Bowie from Florida in order to be here.
That's right. Yeah, Frank called me and he said, "Bob, you're about the only original thing now from Hiltop Plaza. We'd like to have you on site." And I said, "I will be there." So
That's great. So you attended on Sunday.
that's right.
And so how did that go? Because I wasn't able to attend, and maybe some other people weren't, but we want to get a flavor of that.
The people from Bowie just responded wonderfully. They had a crowd there from the time it opened in the morning until it closed off at 5 o'clock. Usually, programs like that, long about an hour before the final hour, the crowd starts leaving. They stayed right on until the very end,
Okay.
and listening to the band and all the games that had been organized for the young people. And it was a great time for Bowie and a great time for Hiltop Plaza.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, did you speak? I know you were introduced.
No, I did not speak. I was just introduced as being the original builder of this shopping center.
Okay. So who were some of the people that spoke? Remember?
No, I could not
No.
quote you any of them.
Okay.
No.
But did Frank speak?
Oh, yes. Frank was the MC.
Yes.
He did a good job with it, too. He kept
And
the
you
crowd.
said that there was a big board of historical pictures and that sort of thing.
Yes. All of that was on display.
They've been running a contest sort of in the paper, asking people to send in, and which we want to encourage people to continue to do, send in old photos of Hiltop Plaza Shopping Center.
Yes, whatever they had.
Yes.
That they would like to display those also.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, we know that stores have changed, so definitely the footage has changed too.
Yeah.
So when it was originally built, like, what was the shape of the mall?
It's
compared
the
to
exact
what you
shape that
see
it is now.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's the L shape.
That L shape.
Right.
And when it was originally leased, were there buildings in the back like there are now, or no?
Yes, there were buildings in the back.
Okay. All right. So then it was fully occupied from sort of the get-go.
Well, yes, but as in all shopping centers, you always have some vacancy.
Okay.
But they enjoyed a good occupancy rate.
Right. Okay. So the Sunday event, you said, was well attended. So what would you guess was the amount of community people that came out? Did it seem like hundreds, or?
Oh, yes, I would say there was probably close to 1,000 people there. Total.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and many of the stores enjoyed a good day for sales.
Okay. And then we also want to certainly encourage, and we're going to have some contact information about the event that hasn't yet taken place, and that's the event on October the 27th on Thursday, and that's at 4 o'clock for the official ribbon cutting and the dedication of the fountain. So
Right.
we've got, at the end of the program, we've got some contact information that we want our viewers to be aware of. But you'll be there on Thursday as well.
Oh,
is
yes,
that correct?
I will be there.
And I'm sure you'll be introduced again
Thank you.
and thanked for coming. So that's wonderful. But I wanted to know, you said you live in Florida now, and you left the area about 7 years ago. So what have you been doing since you left our area?
Vacationing.
Vacationing,
no,
like
no.
a full-time vacation.
Now, one thing that we found in Florida, there is plenty to do, plenty of volunteer work to be done.
Okay.
Plenty of church work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do that sort of in between of our vacations. So
Okay.
we are enjoying the life.
But so nobody's realized your sort of expertise and asked you to help out part-time, or any nonprofits that have tried to utilize your skills and talents?
Not my skills and talents as a builder, but my skills and talents in other ways.
Okay.
And I'm receptive to that.
Well, yes.
I'm more than glad to help.
Yes, I mean, because you've, definitely in managing shopping malls, that's just,
That's quite an experience.
major skills.
Yeah.
And, I would think that would be very helpful. So after managing all that, did you ever think about going into your own business?
No. I assisted my son with his construction business some, but I tried to keep it more on advisory than anything else.
Okay.
Because it's so easy to get deep into it, and I was ready to retire.
You were ready to retire.
I was.
Okay. Okay. So anything that you wished you could have done since now you're retired? I mean, you have any, woulda, coulda, shouldas?
No, I think I'm fulfilling everything that I desired.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you living in Florida?
Ormond Beach. It's right next to Daytona Beach.
Okay.
So the most famous beach in the world.
If you were going to do a little promotion for your area, what would you tell us specifically about it?
Well, Daytona Beach is known to be the most famous beach in the world.
Right.
It's got the drive-on beach. We have Biketoberfest in October.
Okay.
We have Bike Week in February.
Uh-huh.
And that's when 400,000 motorcycles show up. Some people say that's good. Some say it's not so good, but they're only there for a week. So.
Okay. Yes.
But it's a fun place to live. It really is.
Okay.
And the traffic is not nearly what it is here.
No.
Not nearly. A traffic jam there is when 4 people are backed up at the stop sign.
Really?
Yes. Really.
Oh my goodness. So that was something that you've noticed since you came out, was
Yes.
traffic problems?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Goodness.
Look forward to going home.
That's great. Well, I certainly want to encourage everybody to attend on Thursday the ribbon cutting, and that's at 4 o'clock on October the 27th at 4 p.m. And you'll have a chance, certainly, to meet Robert, as well as some of our other officials in the area. And there's a lovely dedication of the fountain as well. Mm-hmm. So be sure and attend if you can. Support our rededication of the Hiltop Plaza. And I'm certainly glad that you could come and be our guest today.
Well, thank you.
Great.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so very much. And next time, tune in for Bowie News and Views. And I'm sure that Bert Oliver will be back, and hopefully his co-host, John Rouse. Good night.